Hey guys, welcome to my live guys Bishop conference meeting. His press conference is on right now. So let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and pull it up. But guys, in the meanwhile, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. Bishop Lamar Whitehead has been vindicated. So let me go ahead and show you guys his press conference. And I will come back and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Like I said, honey, you can't jump the gun. You cannot jump the gun. You have to be patient and just wait it out. So, guys, if you're just coming in, just make sure you hit like, comment, and share these videos.
I forgive them. The Bible says in Matthew 6:14-15, it says, if God forgives us our trespasses, then we have to forgive others their trespasses. And I forgive them. And I thank God for allowing me and my family to be here and not be dead on July 24th.
How does this clear your name? You said this clears your name. How does it clear your name?
Because the tabloids and everybody has been talking about the narrative of the bling bling bishop and the bling bling pastor, and he had to have something to do with it. Why is it taking so long for him to be, for the criminals to be caught? Well, the reason why it was taking long because it changed from a state to a federal case, and they were doing what they had to do. I'm not a police officer, nor am I a federal agent, but I cooperated with the agent every time they called me, and they will tell you that. Every time they called me, any pictures and anything that they needed, they were able to get it from me without any delay at all. So the media and social medias and the bloggers and the bloggers have changed me to a villain instead of a victim. So that's what I'm talking about. My career in real estate has tumbled because of the tabloids speaking to the sense of me being the villain and me having something to do with it. And nobody wanted to do anything with me. None of the politicians called me to check on me anymore. Nobody called me anymore. So it was just me and my family and my church family. So that's what cleared.
The chief of detectives said today, basically, that the reason this happened, or their motive, is that these men saw you flashy. They knew where your church was. So, I mean, you spoke to that, but what do you think of it?
Well, that was an assumption. I watched it, and it was an assumption, and it's still further investigation. So, he's assuming there's a lot of different things that's up in the air. There's a lot of things that's in the air. It's a heavy investigation where there's tons of different units that's a part of this investigation. So, I think that I should be able to wear what I want to wear. I think I should be able to dress the way I want to dress. When you look at the Pope, his robes are nearly $50,000. But there is no talk about that at all.
He wear what he wants.
African American young man. I'm ridiculed. I'm called different names. So I believe that was just an assumption and their opinion at now.
Do you know the suspects?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Now, it's been hell. My family just came back home. I've been paying for them to stay in a hotel. My daughter, my kids still can't sleep at all. They can't sleep. The trauma, I've never understood the trauma of this type of robbery. You watch these things on TV, but until you actually are a part of it, you never understand. This is trauma. I'm talking about my members calling me crying. If not every day, every other day. My daughter crying and scared. Every slam of a car door. She turns around, she's startled. So this has been hell. And then to not be believed.
Mm-hmm.
Not be believed and to be ridiculed on the way I dress. And, it's just, I thought I was a victim. But I just turned into a villain, and it's hell. To answer your question.
Sir, have you ever?
The late disclosure.
Do you in any way Did you in any way before the robbery know these two men? Or
Did you ever
anyone
see them before?
I've never seen them before a day in my life, and this was groundbreaking for me because when you haven't seen them, when you haven't seen them, um, you don't know what they look like, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. This morning I was up for 5 a.m. prayer because we're on 5 a.m. prayer for the last year, um, 7 days a week, and I was up for 5 a.m. prayer. And when I dozed back off, then I got this phone call, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I was so anxious to see what these gentlemen look like because I've never seen them before. I didn't know their names. So when I seen them today, I never saw them before. And then I started to say, wow, why would these young men do this to me? Why would these young men do this to me? We always talk about racism. We always talk about other ethnicities coming against the black community. But these were my own brothers. So what is our excuse now?
Thank you. Thank
What is
you.
our excuse now?
What are your thoughts on the late disclosure that they're in plea discussions?
Well, like I said, I'm leaving that up to the prosecutor, and I know that the judge said that they were giving them a window for plea discussions. So I don't know if they're already having plea discussions, but what I do, yeah, that's in every case, as my attorney just said. That's in every case. So I don't think that they're in. I don't know if they're in plea discussions, but I know that the next date for court, which I will be here, is October 28th, and I will be here, and I'm going to monitor this and whatever they need from me, And I'm hoping and praying that these young men speak because there's no. I don't know, but I feel that there's more to the story. I
Yep.
feel that there's more people to this,
Yep.
and I feel that because for you to have the courage to walk inside of a house of worship, it has to be something else to this. So I'm hoping that they will cooperate with the police department, the ATF, and the NYPD, and anything that's hidden. I'm hoping that it's uncovered. Any names that have been a part of this crime, I'm hoping that the no snitching rule is out the window,
Yep.
and I'm hoping because at the end of the day, they pull a gun not only on me to the back of my head, but my wife and my 8-month-old daughter. And I do have video that I will be showing later on this week or maybe next week. But I did not put it up there, but you guys will be able to see the inside of everything that happened, and because I think the people in the world needs to see the traumatization of my church and how all of them had to. It's like a wave. They just all flew on the floor, and they were all on top of each other, on top of each other. And when you guys see that, then I think that you guys will have trauma that my family is going through.
Something must be wrong with the camera.
Do you know if they have any connection to the church? You've heard their names. Do you know if they were? You know who they were, but do you know?
I don't know their names. Their names are not unfamiliar to me. Their names are unfamiliar to me, and their faces are unfamiliar to me. I was hoping to come out here and say I've seen that young man before because I do a lot of community work. I help a lot of kids. I help a lot of young men out of prison. I help them reform their life. So I'm around a lot of young people. I'm around a lot of gang members. I'm around a lot of people, a lot of people that have felonies and different things of that nature. And I was hoping to see some type of connection of how did they just pick me out? Because you know, think about it. Just think about it. I'm outside. I'm not inside. I'm outside doing a lot of community work, right? And the same jury that they stole from me is the same jury I have on all the time. Why would you go into the church, right? And I think every pastor, I think every imam, I think every rabbi, and whatever religious leader you are, I think we should step up and stand together to protect the house of worship because this could have happened anywhere, right? It's not like I didn't have my jury on when I'm outside. Why would you come into the church? Why would you come into the church and do what you've done? Because you know we don't have any weapons, because you know we're at peace, you know that we are coming to serve our Jesus, right? And that's just wrong.
Bishop, did you said the politicians stopped calling you. Does that include the mayor?
I haven't heard from the mayor in a while. And like I said, I believe that, a lot of people are scared off. I think a lot of people were scared off because of the picture that I was painted to be involved with this heinous crime.
Are you scared you'll be targeted again?
Am I scared? No, I'm not scared. Am I going to be targeted again? I don't know, but I'm not scared.
Have you increased security at your church?
Much expensive.
Have you increased security at your
Yes.
church? How was that lady able to get in and, you know?
Well,
come at
she
you?
was well. She came up and she said what she said in front of me. I allowed her to say, and she was a woman. You know what I mean? She was a woman. She
That's how they
screamed,
come.
She hollered, she cursed, she did everything. And as I turned my back to go back up into the pulpit, that's when if you see the video, she walked up. I thought she was leaving. Then she turned around and then started yelling at my wife and beeline to my
Jezebel
wife.
spirit.
And she had a bag underneath her arm. So I didn't know what was going on.
Thank
And
go
I
after
did
her
not choke.
too.
No, I did not choke. I grabbed her from the back of her shirt.
You
and
don't
I
have
had
to
the mic in
explain
my hand,
yourself.
and I grabbed her shoulder and I pushed her out. I did not choke the young lady at all. Okay, I don't have no
You owe
fingernails,
no explanation.
fingernails. So I didn't scratch her. She scratched herself. And if you look at all of the video that I've been that the media has been posting, when she went downstairs, she started to say, "I'm going viral. I'm going viral.
Yeah.
I'm going viral." It was all a setup for bloggers and to desensitize my holiness and desensitize me as a man. My mom raised me by herself. I am pro-woman. My grandmother's my best friend. She's 107 years old. She'll be 108 in May, right? So I don't harm women. I'm not a.
You don't need to explain yourself.
All I want to do is protect my wife and my daughter. You guys have to understand. The last time somebody went towards my wife and my daughter, they had a gun in their hand and a gun in my 8-month-old baby's face. What am I supposed to do when this young lady has something under her arm?
Are you going to wear less bling?
So you're not again?
What are you doing differently now?
As far as what?
How are you, your services, security, anything? What has changed?
Well, what has changed, I've chose for the next few weeks to do everything online. Just to give the confidence back to my church and to calm things down, do everything virtual for now until further notice. Security is up. And I'm just repositioning leaders. A lot of my leaders resigned because of fear, because of their family being afraid that this is supposed to be a house of worship, not a club, or a house of worship and not somewhere where you have to, as soon as the door opens, everybody's turning around. It's nuts. As soon as you hit the door or somebody speaks, my whole church turn around. So I wanted to settle down and just go online for a few weeks until further notice.
Are you going to wear less bling so you're less of a target?
Curse him out.
Well, I will wear what I've been blessed with by God when I feel like it.
Thank you.
You know, that's it. You know, I don't, you know, everyone says that I was targeted.
How the heck he can ask a question like that? He wear what he wants.
You know, it's amazing to me about how we all forget about the shooting in the church in the Carolinas and the mass shootings in the churches down south, right? The pastor didn't have any jury on, right? But at the end of the day, just to make a story to make me look like I deserve it. See, when you guys ask me that and say, well, are you going to wear less jury so you won't be targeted?
Come on,
it makes
Pastor.
me feel like you feel that I deserve it. Because,
Thank you.
So I'm not saying it.
Yes,
but
you
this
do.
is just what the media is building around, because you guys go into my when I was illegally incarcerated and sent away to prison. You guys put the bling bling bishop and identity theft, but nobody wants to give the story on that I have search warrants that was illegal. Search warrants where the judge's signatures was forged. Nobody wants to talk about how the district attorney that was over my case in Suffolk County, his name was Thomas Spoda, that he had a federal indictment and he had to resign. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that, but everybody wants to talk about my felony conviction, but nobody wants to talk about how I have 5 affidavits from 5 different lawyers that states that the DA hid all of the evidence from them. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's not a story. But the story is that he went to prison and he served 5-6 years in prison.
Come on,
and he's
Bishop.
not to be trusted. But nobody wants to talk about Thomas Spoda, who has been federally indicted and had to be resigned and was arrested in Suffolk County. He was the district attorney over my case. Let's talk about that.
Come on, Bishop.
Why don't we talk about that, right? But the New York Times, identity theft, Bishop, this, Daily News, same thing. right? Nobody wants to talk about that, the good things. Let's talk about why none of you guys were there when I gave $25,000 back to school for at Cookie's department department store. Where were you guys at then?
Right
We sent out the
person.
press release. Nobody was there, right? But as soon as something that you guys feel that's going to give you guys some type of attraction, and you guys don't know how it hurts my family, right? Let's do a story on that.
Do you think you were targeted?
As far as what do you mean targeted as far as what?
Because they knew that you wear expensive items?
I don't know. I don't know if I was targeted. I don't know. Obviously, they had to
because they brought it up.
If they came in like that to rob a church, right? To rob a church, they had to do something, and they had to be brave.
What kind of watch are you wearing now?
Wow.
It doesn't matter. There you go again. You see here talking about what type of watch am I wearing, but you haven't yet asked me how's my wife doing. This is my point. You never asked me how's my daughter doing.
They have the right.
You want to sit and talk about a watch, right? You didn't ask me how's my mom doing, that she cries every time I speak to her. You didn't ask me how my family doing. You talking about a watch. Who cares about a watch? I care about my family, right? And you guys are not going to keep with the narrative of material things, okay? I am a person. I am a human being, okay? All right? Let's talk about that.
What happened with the home invasion? You mentioned it was a home invasion.
It was under investigation. It was a tip home invasion.
When did this happen?
This happened about 3 weeks ago.
In New Jersey?
Yes.
What's a tip?
Well, they tried to get in the house, and they didn't know that I had security there. And once they found out, they ran.
Anything that's connected to this robbery?
I don't know.
You said about 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Being investigated by?
The police.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Sorry.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad you told them off.
We can do this. We can do this. Get this turned to me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for all the prayers, all the love, and all the support. God bless you guys, and I'll see y'all later.
Wow, guys, that's messed up. That is messed up. When you want to bring someone's past up, that is messed up. And I'm glad that he told them all. They had the right person in place. Because this man today has been vindicated of all the lies that they had put out because they wanted to rush to judgment, but yet they worrying about his bling bling, what he got on. See, they're asking him how his family, how his church. Maybe the Most High God allowed all this happen, to put him on display so he can expose all this stuff that's going on. Now, you know good and well that is not right. Whatever he done in his past, let it be his past. We talking about what's going on right now. That does not justify what had happened to him. When we know it, people out there comes in these churches and shoot them up. And people don't survive to talk about it. But these people was able to survive to talk about it. And all they worrying about is his bling bling. Come on, guys, help me to make this make sense. That does not make no sense at all. No, he didn't bring it up. Those reporters, the one had brought it up. He did not bring that up. The reporters brought that up. And that's just to show you we rush to judge. We don't wait. We are the only people, like he said, it was his own people that crucified him, tried to nail him to the cross. And that's why the Most High God had vindicated him. We are a bunch of crabs in the barrel. But yet our oppressors, we sit there and we sit there and give them a pass when they out there working overtime on us. But yet we cannot forgive our own brothers and sisters. But yet we'll rip each other apart. It doesn't matter if he brought it up. He wear what he wants. That's just like what happened to me with my business. I take stuff like this personal. Just because you don't like the beautiful coat that his father had given him, you want to sit there and tear him down. Like I said, favor is not fair. Keep your eyes off of him and put your eyes on the Most High God that gave it to him. Whatever he wear, that is his business. We had a queen of their queen, so-called of England, wear a huge diamond on her crown, which we know that diamond was stolen. That diamond belongs to the children of Africa. But yet I don't see no one sitting there going after these people when they sitting there still today reaping off the children's bread. We got all these huge businesses that was built off the backs of black slaves. All these businesses that's still surviving today, that their children are reaping the harvest. But we don't go after people like this, but we only go after our own. Like he said, you all rush to judgment. You all couldn't wait until these policemen, detectives, of whomever, the investigators do their job. You all wanted to do the job for them. And that's what our people love, to do the job for these people. They don't have to do nothing, because we are the ones wants to be the judge, the jury, and the executor. We are the ones that's ready to put the nail to the coffin. And that's why the Most High God had vindicated him. And he's out there doing the press conference. But you guys weren't, these people, these white people, some of them asking him about his bling bling. Will you wear your bling bling? Will you wear your watch? That's the watch. Why are they worrying about that? Why you don't worry about how your forefathers robbed everything that belongs to us that was not nailed down, including us? See, we don't talk about stuff like this. What is WhiteHead doing right now against Reed and Jive? Isn't that the same thing? It doesn't matter how he handled it, Mr. K. How he handled it is his business. First of all, they shouldn't have never sat there and went and jumped the gun. Like he said, these people are leaderships. These people have a very huge platform. Instead of using their platform to glorify God and talk about stuff that is positive, they want to put their mouth on the man of God, so they wait until the people do their job. So however he react on it, that's his business. You can't tell nobody when they are fighting how to fight. When you in a fight, you do anything. You ain't trying to sit there and give nobody a heads up. You're going to try to bust their head open. So how he handled it, that's his business. Like I said, even though he's in leadership position, but these pastors right here, this new generation, this Joshua generation, is not going to just sit there lying down. They're going to take it by force. Like I say, the kingdom of heaven suffer violence, and you got to take it by force, because as you can see right now, the devil is working overtime on us. And the thing about it is, he only sitting there working on our people. When we going to wake up? Every time you look, we tearing one another down. We hate to see one another sit there and get one step ahead of us without trying to push that person back. So how he react to the situation, that's something on him. It's just that when you throw a rock, you better be careful, because one might come back to you. And how he handled it, that's something on him. And like he said, maybe he was called for this. Because I do not believe that the Most High God is going to bring you somewhere without seeing you through it. If he brought you to it, he going to see you out of it. And like I say, this right here is a year of exposure, where the Most High God is ripping the sheets off of these wolves in sheep clothing. And the way that he handled it, maybe he handled it like that because God got him out of the uttermost and brought him forth. He's not like one of those these pastors that in church all their lives just because their mothers or fathers or whomever, they grew up in church. God not using those type of people no more. He's not. He using people that been through hell and back, people that got a testimony, people that overcame, people that been hanging on the outskirts of hell. That's who the Most High God is using today. Mr. K says, sure, ripping the sheet off of, well, who, like I said, then say, the ball is in his hands right now. The ball is in his hands right now. The Most High God has vindicated him. And like I said, nobody mad but the devil. And in here, like I said there and said, I stand on righteousness. I don't have a dog in this fight. But I know one thing, especially the Most High God is talking to the church today. It's time for the church to come together. Stop trying to tear one another down, because it's not about you. It's not about you. And like, just because you don't like a person, you said that you worrying about what he have on. What about them babies? What about them babies that's been molested? What about these babies that's been turned out? Nobody talking about this. They worrying about the blank blank. What about all that? No, we want to continue to see stuff like that. We want to sweep it under the rug, because like I said, the world love its own. And nobody's sitting there talking about, and like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. All I can go by is what those audios was saying. But nobody talking about that. How they bringing these kids into the slaughterhouse, turning them out. And these kids supposed to be in there, sitting there, being taught by leaders. And leaders are in there, sitting there, chewing them up and spitting them out. Do you think that the Most High God is going to continue allowing this stuff to happen? Maybe. Maybe God is using Bishop WhiteHead. Because like I said, God is not using the ones that's in the church house. He using the ones that's been in the street, people that been through hell and back. That's who the Most High God is using today. And they're going to tell it. As you can see, they're going to tell it. You can go out as you want. Nobody, look, like I said there and say, in here, we eat meat. And like I say, my channel is not for everybody. So just like you came in, devil, you get out right now in the name of Jesus, because I'm going to stand on righteousness. You didn't have to sit there and make a statement. I'm out. Deuces, get out and don't come back. Because my channel is not for you. Like in here, it's real talk with Lady D. Only ladies and gentlemen is in here. Now, if you want to sit there, somebody that's going to tickle your ears, go to them. Because I'm not going to tickle your ears in here. I stand on holiness. And I'm not going to sit there just because you don't like a person. You feel like, oh, everybody else supposed to jump the bandwagon. Devil, you is a lie. Get thee behind me right now. Don't make a statement. I rebuke you right now in the name of Jesus. You get thee behind me. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know who you messing with. You messing with a power-packed praying woman. So don't make no statement. You just leave. That lying demon spirits. You think somebody just going to sit there and be a doormat and let people think that they can treat them any kind of way? He handled it the way that he wants to handle it. And like I said, ain't nobody mad but the devil. Because like I say, in here, I'm not, like I said, if you want to click likes, whatever you feel led to do, you do it, because I'm not getting paid for this. Do you see any commercials running on my videos? I'm sold out. I'm not getting paid for this. This is my ministry. And if you don't like it, then hit the road, Jack, and don't come back. No more. Because I'm not in here for clicks and likes. If I was in here for clicks and likes, trust me, I would be having more subscribers than I have right now. But I stand on truth. And who don't like it, that's their business. So if you don't like it, you go. And I pray that whoever don't like what's going on in here, you go. Because trust me, honey, I am not getting one dime on this. Not one dime. You go through all of my videos, you would not see no commercials on it. You think that I can sit there and stand before you and tell you stand on righteousness and still go along with the world? No, the world loves its own. But you're not going to sit there and think that you can control something. Don't make no statement. Just leave the same way you clicked on, the same way you leave out it. And that's real talk. You could say whatever you want to say, but I don't need you to tell me you about to leave out deuces. You leave. Mr. K say, so aren't we are entitled to do the same? So if he looked like a crook and a con man to me, that's what I'm going to say. Say whatever you want to say. I did not stop you from saying what you want to say. I never came down on what you said. We all have a right to agree to disagree. So you didn't hear that come out of my mouth. I don't need no one to come on here and be a yes person. You have a right to your opinion. I'm telling you, the person that came on here has said that they are leaving. Deuces. You don't have to make a statement like that. If you want to leave, leave. Like I say, my channel is not for everyone. Not for everyone. That's why I stay in my lane. I'm sure you can relate to him taking money with the promise of buying real estate, all to turn around and not give that lady her money. But I don't know nothing about, like I said, they say I heard about that, but that's not what it's about. Now, whatever he took from somebody else, then he gonna have to handle that. But I'm talking about when three guys came into his church and held him, his family, the church members at gunpoint and robbed this man. Somebody could have been serious killed. That's what I'm talking about. Just to have people to come back in and sit there and hackle this man's church. And the church people sitting there, instead of coming together, praying with this brother, sat there and put their mouth on. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if he sat there and he took somebody's real estate money, I promise you, justice will be served. Because you cannot get away with God, especially when you put yourself in leadership. You cannot get away. So if he sat there and he did what he did, trust me, justice will be served. His day is coming. But I'm talking about, this is no joke, guys. Just imagine someone coming to you and putting a gun to your head. Just imagine. And if you cannot see what I see, then you are a cold-hearted person. Because this is no joke. No joke. And like he sat there and say, his children was in there. And one thing about kids, when you do something to kids, whatever happened, that stuff stays to them to the rest of their life. Those kids soak all that stuff in. That will affect those kids. Someone put a gun on me right now, I would be devastated. You have to be open to all. You have to be able to look at the big picture. I'm looking at the big picture. I am looking at the big picture. Like I said there and said, I do not have a dog in this fight. I do not have I look, I'm looking at the big picture. And what I see is these people, some people, or whoever that was, came in and robbed this man at gunpoint. That's what I'm looking at. Robbed this man at gunpoint when he was having church service. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not worrying about how he dressed. I'm not worrying about all the who he owed. My concern is when he was in that church and he was held at gunpoint, him, his family, and his congregation. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And like I said there and say, wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. And that was wrong. Thank you, DeAndre. Wrong is wrong. And I'm not asking nobody to sit there and give me brownie points. I'm not asking nobody. But anybody that been following me for a long time, they know how I am. They know that this is my ministry. And I don't sit there and go and jump from one channel to another, getting into all that beef. I stay in my lane because, like I say, this is my ministry. I believe right here, this is where the church at, right here. And I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat anything because I believe in here is only grown folks. And we all have the right to agree to disagree, whether you like it or not. But in here, I stand on my truth because I don't know these people from a can of paint. Ain't nobody paying me nothing. Nothing. I don't even get money for the videos that I make. So I don't have nothing in this. But to tell you what I see. And like I said, put yourself in that position, how you would feel. Someone running on you, running up to you, complete strangers, pulling a gun on you, just to have your own church people, leaders, people that you broke bread with, to sit there and turn their backs on you because they bit off of that lie. Like I said, each his own. Each his own. But in here, like I said, I stand on righteousness. I stand on my truth. And if I can't, I might as well shut it all down and walk away. Because I'm not in here for the clicks and like. The ones that sit there and put all that on their channel or someone else going through, making a mockery out of it, making a show. That's the ones you should be lifting up. But no, we turn a cheek on stuff like that. We turn a cheek on stuff like that. Because we love dipping and dabbing in our mess. We live in a world that loves its own. So quite obvious, they going to follow the bandwagon. Quite obvious, they all going to agree. So like I said, people have a choice. You either in or you're out. You either hot or you cold. Don't you think that God knows exactly what we do? He knows exactly what's going on. Nothing happened in life for a reason. Nothing happened in the life for a reason. And we already know these devils out here, they really, really hard on the church. But it's worse out there. And like I told you, judgment gonna begin in the house of the Lord. Judgment gonna begin in the house of the Lord, because see, Satan already know he got them. And the first thing they want to tell you, oh, all this is just mess. I don't want to be a part of this. No, you saying that so you can go out there and serve all your little false gods. Put all those idols down. Come out of all that witchcraft. And give your all to God. So if you bringing them out there, what you think what next? What next? Because Satan out there sifting them like wheat. Frida, I think you made your point already, okay? I think you made your point, and I think I quite understand what you are saying. So you don't have to keep sitting there pouncing it, because then it look like you are hackling my page. Like I said, if you don't like what's going on here, then this might not be the channel for you. But in here, honey, trust me, you're going to have to govern yourself accordingly. That's something on you. That's something on you. But it's worse on the outside. Where they going to go? Because as you can see, Satan is out there sifting them like wheat, seeking who he can devour. So where else they going to go? And that's why the Most High God is cleaning up the churches today. Because they have made a mockery out of the Most High God. Don't you think that you're going to get away with all this? Don't you think that you're going to get away with all this? Because you're not. Like I said, judgment has fallen. Judgment has fallen. And not too many people are going to be able to grasp this, what I'm saying. Only for the remnant, people that is sold out. People that's not dipping and dabbing in the things of the world. But no longer that the church is going to be a doormat. No longer. These people are waking up and saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like I said, hell is enlarging itself as I speak. Hey, Lady D, people are keeping up with him for the drama. You are right. You absolutely right, Chanel. You absolutely, because we thirst for drama. Our people are so messed up. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing good. We want to run after drama. But yet the white man is working overtime on you. You give him a pass. Like I said there and say, we need to stop pointing the finger, because we are our worst enemy. We are our worst enemy. We hate ourselves because they taught us to hate each other. They taught us to fight against each other. But enough is enough. When we going to sit there and rise? When we going to wake up? How long we going to allow them to rock us to sleep? How long? I'm actually love the church I attend. They actually are getting it right and do a lot for the people. They are mostly millennials and putting this older church to shame. Amen. And that's who God is using, because these younger generation, they are waking up. They are the Lions of Judah. No more that you're going to be able to rock them to sleep. And that's what God is raising up right now. He's raising up an entire generation, a generation that is after his heart. Frida, you can say whatever you want, but I think you just, like I said there and say, you're the only one really sitting there. Comment. You can comment all you want. It's your opinion. I have nothing against this. You do whatever you want to do. But you should know me after you've been following me for a long time. You know I don't jump with the bandwagon. I never did. When the crowd goes one way, I goes the other way. And if you don't know how I run my channel, then maybe to you as well, this might not be the channel for you, because I don't run with the crowd. I do not run with the crowd. But like I said there and say, the Most High God is raising up an entire generation, a whole new generation. And that's just like when the children was in the wilderness, how it was supposed to be a 14-day journey, but it took them 40 years to come out. And half of them didn't even come out. Only the younger generation was able to come out. 25 and under. The rest of them died in the wilderness. And that's what's going on with the church today. Some of these people are spiritually dead, spiritually dead, walking dead amongst us. And these younger generation is picking up the torch. They're picking it up, the torch. God is raising them up as I speak, because they are not afraid. They're not afraid. As you can see, they're not afraid. Because you know, if someone would have came on you at gunpoint, the first thing you would have done, you would have sat there and tucked your tail and ran. This guy, he came out full force, ripping the sheets off of these wolves in sheep clothing. Now, how he handled it, that's his business. Thank you, Frida. How he handled it is his business. It may not have how I would have handled it, or you and I, but how he handled the situation, what he was going through, that's his business. But one thing that we do know today is that he didn't plotted this. That's what it's all about. That he plotted all this. And now that you know that he's telling the truth now you want to go ahead and look at all the stuff that he have on. Maybe that's the reason why people sat there and did what they did. It could be true. And God gonna have to deal with him in that area. But still of all, it does not make a person to run on another person at gunpoint. It does not. I think that he said he go to court. They go to court, I think, for arrangement or something in October. But like I said, two wrongs don't make it right. And it's time for us to sit there and stop jumping the gun. Let it play out. Just let it play out. Soon when something happened to one of us, especially when they a celebrity or the church, we pounce on that. We jump on it because drama sells. And I know these people are not sincere. And the reason why I know that they are not sincere, because just like Bishop WhiteHead said, you go on their channel right now, they are running commercials. So they are no different than anybody else. It's all about almighty dollars. This is how some of these people put food on their table, through gossip, through drama. So quite obvious, they're going to tell you what you want to hear, just for the clicks and the likes. Duh. They're not going to tell you the truth. If you out there, you say the sky is green, they're going to tell you the sky is green. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. Because these people have been sold out for almighty dollars. Like I say, the love of money is the root of all evil. That right there is the mark of the beast. And that's why we in a predicament that we are in now, because we chasing after those dollars, not knowing that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and everything that's in it belongs to us. The reason why you have not, because you ask not. And that's exactly what he's doing to Reed and Jive. Why do you then he team up with Tasha? Like I said there and say, I don't know. All I know, like I'm talking about, and I watched it with Tasha K. Tasha K came to him first. Tasha K came on his channel. Tasha K was in his comments. And quite obvious, people was going to notice it. I watched the entire thing. People say Tasha K is in your comments. And he say, Tasha K is in my comments. Come on, Tasha K, come up. And that's how all that started. And quite obvious, like I said, you can't tell nobody how to fight. Tasha K have a very large follower. Tasha K has over 1 million subscribers. She has a huge platform. So if he's trying to get the message across, then quite obvious, he's going to use Tasha K. But like I said there and say, God can take the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. He can use all this mess and turn it into a message, as you can see. First, you got to get the fish, and God is the one that's going to clean it up. So if he can get exposure on a very large platform, then hey, go at it. Go at it. Because the Bible says that the Most High God reigns on the just as well as the unjust. So if he's using Tasha K's platform so he can get his message across, then oh well, that's something on him. But you got to stop. You guys got to stop putting these leaders, these pastors on a pedestal. You guys are the ones that's putting them on a pedestal. And soon, the minute they don't do what you think that they should do or how they should act, you want to pull a prop right from under them. But these people pull up their clothes just like you do. So you guys got to stop looking at these people, because they only a messenger, and God uses whomever he pleases. He said, if you don't praise him, he will have the rocks to cry out. Didn't he had a donkey talk, a chicken, a rooster talk? So he uses whomever he pleases. Whomever he pleases. And the thing about it is, people is mad, upset, because God is not using these church folks no more. These ones that's been in the church all their lives, God not using them. The glory of God has departed out of these people. You can't tell no one how to act. Like I said, he's human just like everybody else. That's just like you telling Jesus, if you believe in the Bible, when Jesus had the woman, the Samaritan woman, the adulteress that was anointing his feet with oil with her hair. You remember that story? When his disciples came in and was upset because she was taking expensive oil and anointing Jesus' feet, they got mad. Her sister got mad because Mary was at the feet of Jesus and Martha, she was in the kitchen. But God said, they say, you all could have rested at the feet too, but you all wanted to be busy. So you cannot tell people how they should act because they are human too. No one walks under the anointing 24/7. Name one person that you know that walks under the anointing 24/7. We all fall. We all was once filthy rags, but saved by God's amazing grace. None of us have arrived. Paul said every day when he tried to do good, evil is forever present. But you cannot keep your foot on someone. I Am Unique says, I agree with you there. Everyone is human and not above the next. Nothing surprised me right now. Nothing. Because we are living in end times. This is it, guys. This is it. And who said you have to have it all together? Who said you have to have it all together? And that's why the sinner man does not want to come in today, because they feel that they have to have it all together. No, come up with your hook up, your hang up. Just come in just as you are. God can use you just like you are. But we got to stop putting our foot on one another, because when I'm blessed, you bless. And whatever they doing, trust me, the Most High God does not need your help. Like my grandmother used to say, he sits high and he looks low. He sees everything. His arms is not short, so short where he cannot reach. But we got to stop putting our mouths on people. Don't you know your tongue can sit there and destroy? That small tongue, and we talked about the small tongue, can set an entire forest on fire. That tongue can speak life or it can speak death. So we got to be careful. We have to be careful because you're going to be accountable for it as well. You don't gloat in no one's downfall. Because like I say, today could be them. Tomorrow it could be you. And you may not be able to handle it the way that that person did. So instead of trying to tear that person down, pray for that person. Pray for that person. And that's what our job is. Our job is to speak life, not death. You're not going to hear me coming on this platform tearing down. And if I do tear down, I'm going to build it back up. But I'm not going to let them stay in their mess, because like I say, it's holiness or hell. It's no in between. You either in or you out. And we all going to be accountable for what we have done. We all going to be accountable. So we have to be careful of how we put our mouth on people. Because like I said there and say, the devil is working overtime on us. He's distracting us with all this stuff. Working overtime on us. He love it. He love when he see us fighting amongst each other. When we are the children of Israel, we are the children of the Most High God. He loved to see it, because long as we fight with each other, they can continue robbing us blind as always. Like I said, oh master, he don't have to do anything no more. Just sit back, because we're doing it for him. No longer we gonna blame each other, blame them. We gonna blame each other. We waiting for another brother to fall, another brother to fall. So we can go ahead and put our foot on that person's neck. But let it be them. Let it be them. Our head is in the sand. We're not going to touch that. But oh Lord, let it be us. Because that's the way that we was programmed. That's why I don't think that we're going to be able to cross over, not this generation. And who I'm talking to only the remnant. Because this is my ministry, a church without walls. And everybody's saying that, oh, now he's having church on social media. Where are people at? Everybody is on social media now. So, like I said, you reaching them at any cost. It doesn't matter. Long as the word is going forth. Now, like I said there and say, yes, Bishop knows that this right here could have been a warning for him as well. I'm not giving him a pass. It could have been a warning to him as well, because he know the scriptures. He know how Jesus told his disciples to go out there. Bishop knows how the Most High God told his disciples what to wear, what to bring with them when they go out there into the ministry. He knows the word. Maybe now he got to examine himself. Like the Bible says, let a man examine himself. And I know, like I said, I've been through all this. I have a testimony as well with my business. I had my business all decked out. They said oh, she must be stealing. She must be doing something. Not knowing favor is not fair. I could have been in prison today. Just because they was built, they sat there and they kept their eyes on what my God gave to me, not knowing when I'm blessed, you're blessed as well. Where they rather come in and sabotage my business. So I know what people can do, our own people. They will throw you in the lion's den. Our own people. But it's time for us to stop it. Because they love it. They love it. They love when we tearing each other down, guys. They love it. But we got to stop it. This is not right. And like I said, God does not need our help. God does not need our help at all. He got this. He knows everything that's going on. He knows everything that's going on. He does not need our help. We need to stop it. We need to start praying for each other, lifting each other up, coming together in unity. And put those real devils, put them on the run. The ones that suppress, oppress, and depress our people. The ones that's taking our babies out of the school and putting them into prison. The ones that's hunting our young black men down like sheep for the slaughter, throwing them in prison, incarcerated, having them to come out, don't know if they are male or female. We don't talk about stuff like this. Look at this young guy, how he went to prison or jail or wherever he was, how they starved him to death. Starved this guy to death. If it wasn't his sister sat there and made an outcry and went on social media to let everybody know what's going on, her brother could have died in that prison. That's if he's not dead yet, because he looked like he was on his way out. But we don't talk about stuff like this. If it's gossip, hush. Yes, indeed. We'll run with that. We will run with that. Chanel say, I agree, putting real connection above material things. Yes, God got this. He knows what he have to do. He knows what he have to do. Because that's all scripture. If you can't sit there and cherry point cherry pick what you want to believe and what you want to go and throw out. You might as well close your Bible and walk away. So maybe he might have to now sit there and reevaluate himself. Because you don't want to cause any harm to no one. It's all about God. Only what you do for the Most High God is going to last anyway. And you know, people will read you before they open up a Bible. And that's exactly what people do. They look at people, especially material stuff, and they lose sight of everything. So if that's going to keep your brother and your sister from stumbling, then put it away. Put it away. Put it away. You know, if that's going to keep them from if that's going to make them stumble, because when people come in, they want to come in to worship, and they want to worship in peace. Or make sure that you have security that's going to protect people that's coming in there. Because I don't believe that the Most High God want our people sitting there poor, looking homeless, when we serve a rich God, when he owned the cattle on top of the hills. He say, how beautiful are the ones that preach, the feet, how beautiful. So quite obvious, he don't want us to like for anything. But don't let it become you or cause someone else to stumble or hinder someone. Because he said, he that lose himself shall find it again. Because I never saw anyone ever built a solid foundation off of material possession. I never saw anyone build a solid foundation off of material possession. That's like building a house on sinking sand. You cannot take that stuff with you. I also never saw a U-Haul in the graveyard. You can't take that stuff with you. All that stuff, it turns to moth. It rots. You can't take that stuff with you. So, like I said, everyone, you know, in order for us to sit there and get it right, let a man examine himself. We all have to examine ourselves. Because, like I said, they say we all fall, but we don't stay there. We get back up. And like I say, this right here is real talk. Real talk. I can't sit there and come on and tell you something just because that's what you want to hear. Like I said, the word cuts. The word cuts. But somebody got to tell it. Because it's time for us to come out of this, guys. We've been in this for so long. So long. It's time for us to come out. But in order for us to come out, we got to work together. Am I my brother's keeper? We got to come together. Because I know that we can build back. If the Most High God gave it to us back then, we were kings, queens. We were royalty. And we still are royal to people. We are royal people, peculiar people, but we are royal people. They may got you thinking that we are the lowest of the lowest, but they envy everything about us. Everything they envy about us. Because we are the lifeline to everything that exists. If we cut it off right now, nothing will exist. Our eyes is dominant. Our melanin skin is liquid gold. They wish they had everything that we have today. Because as you can see, the sun is getting closer and closer to the earth. They know their time is almost up. And they know they don't belongs in that position. That's stolen identity. They have taken our birthrights. We sold it to them for a bowl of beans. But the Most High God is bringing it back to us. He's bringing it back to us. Hold on, guys. Yeah. I'm back. Like I said, guys, it's time for us to get right. Because this right here, in here, is real talk. And I'm not in here for likes or clicks. I'm not a people pleaser. I stay in my lane. I do what God tells me to do. And I go about my business. But I'm telling you guys, God is raising up an entire generation because he have heard our cry. The blood of Abel is still crying out from the grave. Do you think that the Most High God is going to continue allowing these people to do us like they're doing us now? No. No, God is not going to allow these people to continue doing what they are doing to us. But it's time for us to wake up. And God is raising up a whole new generation, people that are sold out. People that you may call nobodies, unlearned, no education, little of education. He's not calling the ones that got these big doctoral degrees, PhDs, and all these credentials. He's not using those type of people. Because if he will call the ones that think they got it all together, then they're going to start boasting. They're going to sit there and be just like, if you guys know the Bible, you remember when the rich man and the sinner man went to church? One said there, he felt that I tithes, I do this, I'm glad I'm not like this bum in the back of me. See, when you sit there, you get a little head, get something, you think that you more than the next person. Start putting each other down. So the Most High God told the one that was in the back, why you in the back? Why you don't come on the front? I'm a sinner man. I'm not worthy to come to the front. I did this, I did that. God knows what you done. You can't hide from the Most High God. God knows what you've done. He knows everything about you. If he can count the strands on your hair and knows exactly how many strands you have in your hair, God knows. We act like God is dumb. We act like the Most High God is blind. He don't see nothing. But the sinner man that admit that he was a sinner, who you think that ran off with the blessings? Who you think that ran off with the blessings? Don't let nobody make you feel that you can't receive God's amazing grace. You in my video. Don't let nobody feel that you are in God's amazing grace. Sorry about that. Don't never let no one make you feel that you cannot receive God's amazing grace just because you've been through this, or you have a past. We all have a past. We all have a past. It's just that some of us, our life is on display. Some of us got our stuff hidden in the closet. but it's going to come out. Sooner or later, it's going to come out. Don't think you can get away with it. But you also come as you are. Come as you are, because he's married to the backsliders. He's married to the homemongers. Don't matter what you have done. Long as you can wake up each and every day, there's a new life. That's a new beginning. You can begin again. Don't never, ever let no one think that you cannot start over. You can. All you have to do is repent and turn from your wicked ways. Now, if you continue sitting there doing the same thing over and over, then yeah, you got a problem. You got a problem, because that's when it become a willfully sin. You knowing good and well that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, but you're trying to do everything to justify your lifestyle and thinking that's going to make it in. You going to make it in with that? No. No. No, not at all. But like I say, guys, this is real church right here. This is real ministry. Church as usual is over with. And we cannot sit there and constantly tearing one another down just because you don't like this person. We can't. And we need to stop helping these people do their jobs. They be waiting. They throw it out because they know that we're going to sit there and help these people do their job. Because that's the way we was conditioned. That's the way that we was taught to rip each other apart. But when somebody's going to say enough is enough, when someone going to sit there and say, look, the buck stop here. Thank you, T. Sharon, he's not vindicated yet, boo. This suspect may say he hired them. I don't know. But like I say, the jury is still out. But what he talked about is that, they are arrested now. And if he say that they're arrested, he say October, I think they go to court or something like that. He did it in front of the police department. Now, if he had something to do with it, then he must be a very narcissist person to go in front of the courthouse and sit there and have a press conference. But like I said there and say, what's in the dark is going to eventually come to the light. So if he had something to do with it, trust me, it's going to come out. Because this right here is a season of exposing. God exposing them. He is exposing them. You cannot play with God. You can't sit there and say God has called you, and then you want to sit there and do what you're doing. It don't work like that. So if he sat there and he's a part of it, or whoever a part of it, trust me, it's going to come to surface. Because this is the year where God is stripping you. He's exposing your nakedness. So, like I said, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. And time will tell. But we got to stop doing these people job for them. We got to start praying for one another. Because like I said, just look around. The devil is working overtime on us. Long as he can keep us distracted, long as he could keep us fighting with each other, then he can sit there and continue robbing us, ripping us off, hunting our young men like sheep for the slaughter. Look at this basketball coach, the one that's married to Neil Long, what they doing to him. This man was not even married to her, but yet they nailed him to the cross. But yet the white lady that he was having an affair with, which was consensual sex, they hid her. So that's just to show you how these people feel about us. These people don't care about us. These people does not care about us. How are you going to sit there and fire someone, get rid of someone else, assassinate their character, put them all on blast, but yet you're going to tuck and hide Karen? Come on, guys. Come out of her. Stop doing these people job. We fighting the wrong fight. When the real enemy is, like I said, is working overtime on us. It's time for us to shake those grave clothes off. It's time for us to shake those grave clothes off. And like I said, the truth don't need no defending. The truth does not need no defending. The truth's going to always find its way back home. So if Bishop Lamar had a hand in it, trust me, you can't hide from God. But we got to start running with all this stuff and just wait. Be patient and wait on the Lord. Be patient. We quick to run. And that's what we did. We ran. Now, most likely, the ones that sat there and put all this stuff out on him, assassinated his character, defamation of character, he might go after them now. Because you know now, honey, we are in the pandemic. The money is funny now. People do any and everything just to have $1 in their pocket. They're going after you. They don't care anymore. Just call it this Sioux City, because that's all it is now. They suing you left and right now. And that's why we have to be careful of what comes out of our mouth. You can't think that you're going to say any and everything and get away with it. It don't work like that, guys. So like I said, time is going to tell. Time will tell. At least one thing that we know now, the people that went and robbed this church, they are in jail. Well, some people say prison now. They in fat. That's prison. Fat. That's prison. So for the feds to sit there and put them in prison and not send them to jail, then quite obvious the feds must have something on them to go and just send them straight to prison. But like I said, time is going to tell. It's going to come out. Hi, Charlene. It's going to come out. And like I said, guys, in here, I stand on truth. I stand on I stand on righteousness. I can't come on and sit there and tell you guys what you want to hear. And I don't know these people from a can of paint. I never watched a Larry Reed show. And I don't know a bishop. And the most that I know now about Larry Reed is because one of my subscribers had told me what, where to go. Because I didn't know that he did a lot. I listened to some of his songs, sang very beautiful, beautiful family. I mean, he sings real nice. He got a lot going on. A lot going on. And if all the stuff that's out there, like I said, is all allegations, but if it's out there, he traded for the world, that's messed up. That's messed up. Because he had a beautiful family. And you cannot be in leader position with all that. causing these babies to stumble. You cannot call yourself a leader position with that. Like I told you, that right there, it stinks to God's nostrils. It's like vomit to God. And that's the word. That's the word. I told you how the Most High God feel about all that. Didn't I tell you how the Most High God feel about that? When he destroyed the entire city. Don't you know Sodom and Sodom and Gomorrah? Sodom means syphilis, Gomorrah means gonorrhea. That entire city was infested with diseases. Because the people that was in that city ran after something that was unnatural. And when the Most High God had sent 2 angels in that city, those men that was in the city wanted to have sex with the men. Where when they saw the men came in Lot's house, they wanted to tear the door down. And Lot opened the door. The Bible says Lot opened the door. And he told those men that was out there, you're not going to have these 2 men. I'm not going to send them out. But you can have my two virgin daughters. And you can do whatever you want with my 2 virgin daughters. He told that to the men out there. Some of you guys might get that by tomorrow. Why he did that. Like I said there and say, if you say God had called you to lead, then you can't sit there and take God's word and twist it and cause his people to stumble, because you're going to be held accountable for that. And this is what we see right now. Like I say, the Most High God got them all on display. Open shame, exposing them all. Because what they have done was they have provoked the hands of God, where the Most High God say enough is enough. And even if whoever have a hand in it, because trust me, they're going to be held accountable for that. Don't think they're going to get away with it. But today, I call it vindication for Bishop Lamar WhiteHead. And the reason why I call it vindication for him, because now the ones that robbed him, they are arrested. Bishop said that he's going to release some of the tapes. The reason why he didn't release some of the tapes, because it was still under investigation, which I do understand. You can, if something is under investigation, if they still working on it, he cannot release those tapes. And everybody said there saying, release the tapes, release the tapes. And soon, the minute he released the tapes, they still gonna find something on them. Because when a person don't like you, honey, they're gonna find something. Because we got a bunch of doubting Thomases. You know what doubting Thomas is? They got to see. They got to see. And when they still see, they still gonna find something else. Because that's the way that we was conditioned. That's the way that we was taught. We was taught to rip each other apart. Our ancestors, guys, is crying out. Because we are a lost generation. We have fallen so far. And it's time for us to wake up. Plain church as usual is over with. We have people that have eyes and can't see, ears and cannot hear. Because we're so busy sitting there trying to entertain. But like I said, it's when we was a child, we spoke like a child, but it's time to put away those foolish games. Time for us to come out of it. Yeah, it's real. It's real. And like I said, Satan knows that his time is almost over with. So what he's doing is seeking as many as he can because his job is to prove us guilty. But he cannot do no more than what the Most High God allow him to do. And some of this stuff Satan has nothing to do with. Satan said, y'all blaming me. I have nothing to do with this. That's your own flesh, your own temptation. Because we like our ears to be tickled. We love to be tickled. We ain't ready to come out. We're not ready to come out. So much stuff, guys, that we can put our energy on. But we have gotten so comfortable, so complacent. We're running after things that is unnatural now. We start acting and looking like the world. We ain't ready to come out. We're not ready to be set free. But whether you're ready or not, it's coming. You can't keep sitting there provoking the hands of God or straddling the fence. You cannot. You cannot. And like I said, when it comes on my channel right now, guys, my channel is real talk. Real talk. And we all have a right to agree to disagree. Because none of us have all the answers. None of us have arrived. We all striving. We all pressing forth. We all searching. Trying to find our way. But we got to stop trying to pull one another down. Somebody got to go before us. Someone's got to lead. We can't have all chiefs and no Indians. Everybody can't be in leader position. But we all are part of one body. The eyes cannot do what the ears can do. The hands cannot do what the feet can do. But we all attached to one body. But we got to wake up and come out of her. Because we living in a world that love its own. These people don't care about us. It's time for us to start coming out of this. Start building for ourselves. They think that we cannot get along. We can get along. We can. But like I said, they didn't say someone got to make the first step. So guys, with all that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And maybe later on, I'll be back. But like I said, all I can say right now, guys, is to get it right. Because like I said, time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. I never saw a thief will come in and sit there and tell you, or call you and tell you, I'm robbing your house. A thief is not going to call you and tell you that they are robbing your house. They're just going to come and break in. So that's why I say get right, church, and let's go home. So on that note, guys, look, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you later. So make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, share these videos for more unapologetic content, or however the Most High God allowed you. Because like I say in here, I don't get paid. I don't get paid. Not at all. Now, would I like to get paid? Yes. Because you cannot muzzle an ox that's plying the field. But I stand on my truth. So anytime when you stand on your truth and you speak in truth, trust me, they're going to come against that. But like I say, it is what it is. So guys, on that note, you all be blessed and have a good day.